And now, part two of our conversation with Wendy Liebman. But I do feel very much strongly about of love, and in favor of connection. I'm in favor of peace and harmony, and righteousness. I people say to me, I have friends that are agnostic, friends that are atheists, and friends that are total believe in a higher power strongly. Now, I'm not sure where I am, but I think what I am for out of the blue, I am, and I want to learn. I want to discover, and I'm hungry to understand what is this higher power, if there is one. And I think there is one because a lot of evidence has been coming out lately. These two, I was speaking to somebody, very erudite guy, and he knows his stuff about physics. And there's these two people that had this theory: a neurologist, a super famous neuroscientist, and an anesthesiologist. And they did a talk, and they have this theory about the human brain being a quantum computer, and that there are these microtubules in the brain. They're so small, I mean, microtubules, they're small, but they're all throughout your brain. And that's where our memories are stored. That's our little memory, our memory, like our
Right.
hard drive, I guess, whatever. And that it all gets stored in there. And then and then they went on to further say that the universe itself is a quantum computer. And that and then they went one more step. This guy, this famous neuroscientist, um, neurosurgeon or whatever, he from England. I'll send you the stuff. You can look it
I
up.
love that.
He said that he he postulated that this universal mind, this just universe of a mind of quantum computer, was eternal. Like it did not have a beginning or an end. It just a lot. It was eternal, immortal. He called it, and he said that they put it all together. They said now we're saying that when the guy that's the anesthesiologist looks at brain waves all day long, because that's where they live, trying to track. He wants to know where's the seat of consciousness in the human
Right.
body and human brain. So he was saying that at the point of death, all that make their memories in those microtubules don't go away because it's not in physics. Matter cannot be, it never can be destroyed, and it can only be transformed. And so they were saying that information goes into the great quantum computer of the universe,
Wow.
right?
So it's like AI a little bit.
Uh, AI is like it.
AI is like it.
AI is sort of imitating it.
Right.
I mean, I think we're getting close to understanding that's probably what AI is. It's sort of a evolution
Like a
of our own.
collective consciousness.
Yeah,
Right. Exactly. I have a couple of thoughts about that. That's so fascinating. I would love to read that.
I'll send you the stuff. I'll send you the links.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my husband has been listening to a lot of near-death experience YouTube videos, accounts, and he said that sometimes a person will die on the operating table and then they'll be revived. But in the meantime, when they come back, they remember seeing the whole
Oh, yeah.
thing
They're above it. Let's see the.
and not like knowing facts in a different room. And
It's amazing
uh,
stuff. Yeah.
and I believe that. I believe that. I even saw it depicted in like some drama show that I was watching that the guy saw, they thought he was dead. It was his children, and they were shitting on him and saying what a bad parent he was. And when he came back, he like realized he cut them out of the will, basically. When he came back.
That's why he came back, just to do
Right.
that.
Yeah. Just to cut them out of the will. But I wanted to talk about AI a little bit because I actually love AI, not to write jokes.
No, well, if it works, use it. What the hell? It's a tool.
It's like Google for me,
That's what it is. It's
but
no different.
it has taught me how to train my dogs.
No,
It
yeah, 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 yeah.
diagnosed a physical problem that I have that the best doctors in LA could not analyze.
That's incredible
In
Whoa.
fucking credible.
because it's
And
taken in all the knowledge that AI is accessible to, right?
right.
And one doctor, two
So,
doctors, they don't.
but I felt like when I said I felt like maybe you didn't like
Oh no, not me.
AI. Okay.
I totally
Yeah,
love it.
I push against it. I'll be honest. I don't,
Okay.
but I like it for those reasons. Like I've heard I mean, I don't know if you know Stavros Halkias. He's a comedian. He's one of my faves at the
Oh,
moment.
let me write that
Um,
down.
yeah, Stavi Baby is his
Okay.
podcast. But anyway, he brought up once, and it stuck with me that like AI should be doing these things that are like laborious, things that are like technical, things that um I guess are yeah, like are more robotic, and yet it's being used so much in the art space instead. And so it seems like I'm sure you've heard this too. It seems like it's sort of being used to take away opportunities for artists as opposed to taking away like manual labor and things that put people in danger that like I don't know. I will say I don't love its use in art. I even push up against Big Vernon over here using it in his music, but I do understand that it is an incredibly powerful tool, and using it for like to access information and to have it take all this information and like distill it into like sentences that feel like very easy to understand, like they feel human. It's artificial intelligence, you know? That is really powerful and cool. I don't think it could ever replace like the soul of an artist.
It
And it's
can't.
like we are
That's just it.
saying, it
If
is the it is the uh like technological microcosm of like the universe of the universe birthing humans that then tap into a collective unconsciousness. It feels like the tech version of that, which is still super fascinating and incredibly powerful. I just want us to use it for good and not use it for,
well,
slop, as they
I
say.
got
Yeah.
my opinion about this stuff is I think that a tool is a tool. And if the artist or the engineer or the person building things that does tedious stuff, you use the tool. If the tool uses you, you're not doing anything. But if you find a tool, I think that AI is no different than different pigments and different types of brushes that Michelangelo was using, that back in his day, the other artists were saying, he's doing stuff that's not classically right. He has to do the way we do it with the old rag and the certain stuff that we make red out of. He can't do that other stuff. That's too modern. And then the church would be into uh, using English to what the Bible. The Bible's first was always in Latin. When they came out and when Martin Luther turned it into English, he was burned because that was that AI at the time. English was like a universal language that made the thing that was untouchable to the common people, the only priests and the clergy could access. It made it so that anybody could. What's this? What people complain about AI? That a 5-year-old can write a song. Well, why not? If that 5-year-old has a good eye fucking dear, let him write it. You know what I mean? I mean, for my money,
Nope.
Bree is going, no.
for my money, he's not gonna. Okay, that ain't
No,
possible.
I do
AI is
have
gonna
a
write it. It's not gonna be the 5-year-old. Okay, but I've seen
right.
prodigies. I had a show called All You Need Is Music about 15, 20 years ago. And we used to have prodigies on. We had this girl, Emily, who was 8 or 7 years old, and sit at the piano and blow your friggin' mind with what her fingers could do. I mean, she played these pieces from with 64th notes going, I'm like, what the fuck? That's it. But you hear it and you go, it's like hearing a parrot. There's no feeling there. They don't know what they're actually doing. But do they though? Maybe they're born into their body as a prodigy, and they actually do. So I don't know. So that's the mystery. Maybe that 5-year-old who's be able to master the tool of AI and write a really good song is special. But I don't think a 5-year-old is going to do that. I really don't. I think
Well,
if
yeah, it's like a 5-year-old skateboard prodigy cannot use AI to become good at skateboarding.
right.
They need to develop a skill and like, use their human brain as like the new sponge that it is to take in all this information, and then it's like it's a completely different thing. But I was gonna say, it's a bit of a tangent here. I agree with you in a lot of ways, like, and we'll get this back to you, Wendy, because I do want to hear what you think after hearing both our sides here.
Father
But
son bit, yeah.
yeah, I mean, this is the tip of the iceberg with this conversation, obviously. But I think, like you're saying, with like, people using new brushes or airbrush instead of paint brushes, it's like, why would you use this new tool? It's not the classical thing. It reminds me of how um, the flaws of a medium a few years later, or like decades later or whatever, become an aesthetic.
Like a record that skips.
Yes, or like the crackle of a record, how we will artificially put that in, like how an iPhone makes a it's like kids don't even know why it does that, but it's become like the 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 essence of this time period, and then it becomes this like beautiful aesthetic. So I think that in a lot of ways AI can and will become an aesthetic, like this type of like synthesized photograph is going to definitely be used by like super progressive artists, and it is being used, and even in the music, but it's not what makes the art. It's like a relic of the human evolution with art. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, yeah,
it's part of the conversation we have with the soul of what makes art, but it's not the soul of the art. It's an
right.
aesthetic.
I
So I
think as
think using it for that is really cool.
I'm going to say one more thing, and then Lendy, you take over
No,
because
Yeah,
that's okay.
please.
I'm
I'm going to say
fascinated.
that the one thing that I think about AI when you're using it to write anything, whether you're writing a thesis or anything, your idea has to be very powerful. If it isn't, you're not writing it, and it won't. And when you read it back, you will not get that thing. You won't do it. And like use it for like Google. Like when I want to find something out, I really use it. Like I was trying to put a business plan together, and I was doing all the research. And I said, wait a minute, let me ask AI. And I put in all the things I wanted to know about this business plan, what I needed, what I wanted to be, every parameter I could think of. And it cranked out a viable business plan. And it was like I could have gone to a business specialist and he maybe would have done that. But I mean, I got it in a minute. But
Yeah, and that's
it took me an
like
hour
powerful.
to accumulate all that information that I wanted. The work was there, but I don't think AI is if you use it correctly, it's as a tool. I'm not afraid of it personally. I think I would only be afraid if I was going to let it do the work. That to me, I don't want to do it.
Right. Somebody said to me the other day, it's like having a best friend who's a great editor. Because
Exactly.
I've put in um, letters, professional letters that I wanted to send to professionals, and it, as you said, distills what I want to say clearly, and it'll say, do you want this more friendly, or do you
Right,
want
right.
this? And I go,
Personal,
no, I
warm.
don't. I
Yeah,
want it to be a business letter. And so I'm still directing it. I'm telling it I don't want it to be friendly.
right.
Um,
But you put all the information in there that you wanted, first of all.
right now, but I will never have it write a joke for me. Now, at the beginning of the whole AI, uh, another person put in my jokes and with my knowledge, and she said, write a Wendy Liebman joke. And it took my jokes and added stupid taglines that weren't funny, that explained the joke in the most obvious way. I mean, that was the joke, and it explained it. And Okay, so every day on Facebook or every other day, I do something called joke writing prompts.
I always love it. I'm always responding to it.
Yeah, like I'll say, my husband uh, doesn't like me to put myself down. That might be a prompt. And then I'll write three punchlines, something like, he would rather do it, like, something. And then up to 250 people will write a punchline.
What's different than that's just like AI, in my opinion, but it's people doing it.
It's people doing it. But what I have found is if I put that prompt into I can see that some people use what AI spits
Oh,
out.
really? They got it from AI and gave
And
it back
I've
to you.
only asked it a few times just to see. I thought, like, these are great. So my point is, AI has gotten funnier
Yeah, oh
over
yeah.
the
It
years,
learns humor.
I
Yeah, oh
guess.
yeah.
So,
It's machine learning. The thing is learning so fast.
right.
Every second of every day, it's learning.
But I won't let it write a joke for me. But here's the thing, Vernon's, I will, AI cannot perform my comedy. Like it can't.
No, no way.
And AI can't party.
No
Like,
Not a good
kidding.
hang.
right?
Right.
So I'm not worried about AI. I'm using it as a tool. But I see your reluctance. Um, can I call you three?
V3.
Sure, yeah, sure.
I see
Little Vernon is what I went by at the
I
home.
see the reluctance because it's dehumanizing. You mentioned earlier maybe you don't like that your dad is using it for music.
I get inspired by it, but I don't use it. If I can't if it isn't if I don't get I use it almost the same way you use Pro Tools when I write a drum part and I play the drums on my keyboard. Boom, cha, boom, boom, cha. I mean, it's the same thing. I'll do it once and I'll press repeat and it'll play the whole drum part. But everybody's doing that. That's been around since the Pro Tools came about, which was 25 years ago. And
Like auto tune and
auto tune, I don't like auto tune. I feel it affects the voice in a weird way. But people use it as actually an instrument now. I mean, they cannot sing, and they just play a melody, and they talk the words, and the auto tune sings it for them.
oh,
That I and people are using that in public releases. I mean, you
but
hear
they
it all
can't
the time.
perform it live.
No, they use auto tune live.
Oh,
You can use
Yeah,
it
okay,
live.
okay.
Yeah.
Wait, when I do want to know what you were gonna say, Wendy, because
well, just that.
I want to be validated, I
No, but
guess.
maybe a younger person, yourself, doesn't like the idea of a machine replacing art. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean that's definitely
Or not
maybe the
even a younger
main part
person,
of it.
just you, a person,
Sure.
doesn't like the fact that a machine is doing graphic design and kicking somebody out of their job because they can just get a logo from AI now.
Yeah.
You don't need a
Well, there's
logo.
like a yeah, there's a lot of skills that go into a lot of these things. Like um I could play devil's advocate about the whole process of like gathering information being like an important skill and then distilling it yourself and create and having your unique voice put it together is still an important skill that will help you like communicate with people, articulate things you're feeling that you don't know how to put words to. If you're dependent on this thing to like think for you and do work for you, people people like down the line in their career will get editors, will like earn receptionists or secretaries that handle the early phases of coming up with an idea or whatever. you know, they earn that by like putting in this work, by studying. Like I was an English major, which is, you know, the top three most pretentious majors. So obviously I would
My
have this
husband
opinion.
was.
So you get it. He's probably a nerd and corrects you all the time. Um, but it's like that process is so fun, and it's like it's helped me so much, like the process of like learning how to write and like reading and learning how to like take in information and come up with, you know, a way to distill it, like we're saying. That's such a fun process, and it's an important process to like develop like wit and intelligence in like life. So I just, you know, I'm just weary of like I think the dependence on it and the
Well,
ways that it can, you know.
but your dad and I can maybe attest to this, like the same with driverless cars. So they're not prevalent. There are a few on the road, but by the time I won't be physically able to drive anymore, I feel like there will be a driverless car and I'll be the beneficiary of that at the right time. Like,
Mhm.
so in a similar way, your dad, who doesn't remember that he asked or he asked somebody a certain question, the computer is remembering it for him. It's almost like, you know, they say families have a collective memory. And
Oh, this one does. Let me tell you.
yeah, and maybe the computer is the AI is just a member of the family now.
Well, that's what the Out of the Blue family is right now. I'm telling you, we are the Out of the Blue family, and every single human being that's been on the Out of the Blue podcast is part of that family, and it's part of that collective conscious. I swear, no lie, that's the way I feel.
And I
Um,
will add real quick to devil's advocate myself. I do understand that, and I think that it's sort of like the waves of like modern times will change. It's just like an inevitable change. Like these like things are going to change, technology is going to advance. And so now we are sort of we have a tool to cover certain bases. Okay. Now we have freedom in a different way. And this
Right.
freedom is like it's like if you don't have to drive your car, but you have a 2 hour drive, you have this freedom to do other stuff, to like think, to maybe create or something. So it's like accepting. I am begrudgingly accepting the fact that things are changing and we have this newfound freedom. So where are you going to focus it? Am I going to scroll Instagram for 3 hours because I have the freedom to not have to draft that business email, which is, you know, something I didn't even want to do anyway. But like it's just part of like the new times. Like there is now a void of, I guess, attention. Where are we going to fill that void with?
yeah, that's a good
Is it going to be
question. That's a
good?
good
Is it going to
question.
be negative? I'm scared.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, could AI like resolve the divisiveness in the country? I mean, that's what we needed to
Right.
help bring people together,
exactly.
Yeah.
like for good. Like
That's
let's do
exactly right.
like my husband always used to say to my stepson, who now works with AI at Google, use your intelligence for good. Like, don't blow up the library. Or, I mean, I just use that example because somebody in my high school
Yeah, don't
blew
become
up
an
the
anarch.
library.
Don't be an
Oh,
anarchist with
geez.
it. That's
Exactly.
you can't
No, be
fight
an
fire with
anarchist,
fire.
but you know,
You know,
But be a good one.
I will
yeah.
say, you know, you
Don't hurt
reminded me,
people.
Vern, what I love about AI, as far as when helping me with things of that are tedious, as far as putting a researching into something and getting the information. I grew up at the time where I spent hours. I mean, hours and hours in the Boston Public Library, going from book to book to microfiche, and then I would maybe write a paper out of that. You know,
Insane.
it was
Hmm.
We all did that.
yeah. Can you imagine?
Hmm.
And I had to get a ride to the
Right. You had to
library.
get, I had to take the trolley, actually, get on the train, ride the trolley. And I'd spend the entire day at the Public Library. And I was a nerd, definitely. But I got A's in all my projects and I did a science project. But I did all that research. So I really appreciate the fact that I can get the research done quickly. And
Right.
it's the same. I use the same criteria that I used when I walked into the Boston Public Library. If I didn't know what I wanted to get put together, that place was useless. And the same thing with AI.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
you could say the same for Google too.
I
Right.
am. I think
It's
Google's a
like
form of AI.
it's like the evolution of intelligence. Um, and now it's the evolution of knowledge. I remember not 15 years ago having to get home because I needed to check email and I didn't have email on my phone because I didn't have a phone yet. Um, so I was always not anxious, but anticipatory of getting home to check my email. And now it's at my fingertips all day. And I don't know, is that good? But
It's
it's
helped in a lot of
it's the yeah, it's
ways.
I'm so glad that life has evolved like this so far. I mean, I was a secretary in Boston at Radcliffe and at Houghton Mifflin. And I remember saying to my boss, wouldn't it be great if I could put your Rolodex on the computer somehow? I mean, because I would just have to like go through the paper Rolodex to find somebody's telephone number. And now it's like
Yeah.
That was you
done.
that came up with that?
I came up with that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Whoa.
No, I did invent something called the moose brush, but we won't talk about that.
You reminded me of coming home. I used to come home, ride home quickly, and as soon as I turned on the computer, I'd sit there while I was doing the handshake, making the sounds.
Right?
And as soon as it came on, you've got mail. I mean, that's what I would be dreading. What email did I get? Oh no, I'm looking forward to or dreading. It was never you brought that up, Wendy. That's incredibly very timely because now we
Yeah.
have it right here, right at our fingertips. And it's such a what a powerful computer it is.
Can I just have another full circle moment? You know, I think that partly what I fear is the dystopian future of like Wall-E. You never see that movie?
Yeah.
Where again, this is an example of people forgetting to love people and instead loving the things in front of them. Even if the technology has created the convenience, it still becomes like the thing that you are
Wow.
loving. So I do think maybe I am, I'm just kind of like there's a rebelliousness about it, but it is hypocritical because, I don't want to go through the Dewey Decimal System to do a like write a two-page
Paper.
paper,
All
yeah.
right,
Right.
brothers.
The Dewey
Yeah.
Decimal System. Oh
Um
my
Oh
gosh.
my
but
God.
as long as there's like still this focus on the human connection throughout all of the technological advances, I think we'll be totally okay.
That's interesting because I used to go to the library, the Roslyn Public Library. I grew up in Michael Crichton's hometown, and apparently he didn't like the Roslyn Public Library, so he would go to the next town over. Michael Crichton, who wrote Andromeda Strain. And anyway, I
Right.
would go
I
to
know
the,
that. I love those
yeah,
books, by the
I
way.
know.
I'm a
I would
big
go to the
fan.
Roslyn Public Library, and I met like a friend there that I still have. So I have a human connection from there. Okay, so where are we going to get human connections from now?
Right.
Comedy clubs,
There you
Music
go. And I
venues.
think that's where
Yes. Art.
art
Places that have
art,
art.
and AI will never replace live musicians forever.
right?
Never. A live singer, a live drummer, anything. No way. You can't replace it.
Speaking of which, I saw Jeff, my husband, and I watched a documentary the other night about Gordon Lightfoot, and I was never not a fan, but I was never like a fan, and
Right. I know. Yeah.
now I'm like in love with him and his music, and check it out if you
I
like
love Golden Lightfoot.
Gordon
Yes, I do.
Lightfoot. Yeah, it's
It's
a great
very
documentary.
homespun. Well, he was a Canadian, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. Yes. Yeah, I
Yeah.
used to love his music. It was very
And the thing that one of the things that I got from it is that he was 80 at the time. He's since passed away at 84, but he was 80 at the time of the documentary. And he seemed to have a sense of humor that he didn't have when he was an art, like growing up and performing. He really seemed to have a sense of humor about himself as he got older. So that would be a takeaway.
Yeah,
from
so we'll recommend our
that
viewers and
documentary.
listeners, go check out some Gordon Lightfoot. What's it, a biography on Netflix or something, or
Yeah, or Amazon Prime. I
Amazon?
don't remember.
Where
Yeah.
where I'm much taller. What was your
Taller
Amazon?
on TV.
I'm taller on TV. You got to check if you since we're wrapping up this wonderful hour with our dear friend Wendy. Don't forget to go to Amazon and check out I'm Taller on TV, because she is. Look at her now. She's definitely tall. I mean, no question about it. You could be on the Lakers. Uh, but
It's the forced perspective with that background, you know.
yeah,
Maybe. And yeah, I don't know what it is.
we've had some really interesting full circles in this conversation.
We
It's really
have.
good. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to write some takeaways.
Yes, write some takeaways, because we're going to talk again. Wendy, once a year isn't enough, I don't think. We're going to get you back again.
Oh, well, I can only come up with like some pithy statement once a year.
Oh, you
so-
did. What was the one this year? It was a
This
good
year
one.
is that
Out
out
of
of
the
the blue
blues.
can mean two things.
Oh, that's it.
Out of the blues.
There
Yeah.
it is.
That is so great that you intentionally are coming up with like a catchphrase for the entire year. That is a true testament to your non-AI intelligence.
That was from my brain.
Yeah,
That's it from her
I believe
actual
it. AI could never.
WWI, Wendy I. So really, Wendy, thank you so much. And
I
say that.
loved talking to you.
Yeah, it was so wonderful
It
having
was
this conversation.
very nice meeting you. I heard
So
great
nice
things.
meeting you.
Thank you so much, Wendy, for joining us. And as usual, the progenitor of the Out of the Blue family, Mama Out of the Blue. That's so. Thank you so much.
Mwah. I've had such a great time.
Yeah, we did too. I did too.
Okay.
Thank you,
Bye.
Wendy. Thank you, Vernon.
Bye.
Thank you for
Pleasure.
joining us on Out of the
Bye.
Blue. See you again soon. Out of the Blue, the podcast, hosted by me, Vernon West, co-hosted by Vernon West III, edited by Joe Gallo, music and logo by Vernon West III. Have an Out of the Blue story of your own you'd like to share? Reach us at info@outoftheblue-thepodcast.org. Subscribe to Out of the Blue on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and on our website, outoftheblue-thepodcast.org. You can also check us out on Patreon for exclusive content.